Hello and welcome to the chaos. I am Kristen. I'm the owner of Cheerful Chaos Crafts, which is a crochet plushie business. I go to markets mostly. I sell online on Etsy, but markets are my primary thing. And this is another video, actually the final video in the spring free Instagram pattern series. So this section is going to be on frogs and bunnies and then others, because there were a couple of little things that didn't quite fit into the other categories that I just tacked onto the end here. So welcome, and if you're new, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here, and let's just jump straight into it. So I've got my notebook ready, got my bag of plushies over here. Again, I'll say that all of these patterns were done in Big Twist Posh yarn with a 5mm hook, same as the other two videos, so that all of them are kind of on equal footing. I don't rate them precisely, but I will tell you how much material went into making them, how long they took, and then any little notes I have on any of them. Okay, so the first one I have is the NosoCozy by BriaCrochets, which is this little guy right here. You can see I used the little anime eyes on him. He's got the little thighs and feet going on back there with his shape. And he's more of like a wedge shape, like a toad shape frog. This one took me 20 minutes to make. So he took me 20 minutes to make, this little guy. 17 grams of yarn, 11 grams of filling, and then the two safety eyes. And my favorite part about this pattern was these little feet. It's just such a unique little addition. And then, I mean, you can't, it's hard to see with me holding him like this, but then when he sits on the table, you can see that it's like little thighs and his little feet sitting up like that. It's just cute. I like him. This might actually be my preference to like the leggy froggy that everybody does. So the next one, sticking with frogs, is the Chubby Frogs by hugurumitoys. And that is this little guy. Similar kind of body shape, bobbles with the feet again, but all of his legs are in the front. And then you have color change work to do this belly patch. So you can kind of see they're kind of similar. This guy is leaning more forward. This guy's sort of like sitting back, but it's a kind of the same idea where it's just like this real fat frog. This one took a little slightly longer, 25 minutes. He's also slightly bigger, and that color change does take a little extra time. He was 21 grams of yarn, 9 grams of filling, and 2 safety eyes. And again, I used the anime eyes on this guy. He's really cute. I do like him, but I like the other guy just slightly more. Okay, and then the final, no, not the final frog, but the next frog, is called the Frogberry by n.y_arts. This is actually a 2-piece pattern. Isn't that cute? I thought he turned out really cute. A very clever idea. This is separate, the frog and the little lily pad for him to sit on, but you could always stitch him on or glue him on just to kind of make a little desk pal. So this little guy, it was the longest of the frogs. He took about 35 minutes. He's also the biggest. 33 grams of yarn, 7 grams of filling, the 2 safety eyes. The lily pad, I kind of had trouble with a little bit. It didn't quite come out the way the pattern indicated that it should. So I'm not sure what I did differently. It just looks different than it did in the picture. And his eyes are stitched on separately. They're not a no-sew. I feel like you possibly could do a treble bobble stitch there and get a similar look. But all of that contributes to it taking a little longer than the other frog pattern. So that's why this guy was 35 minutes. So he's cute. And like some of the other longer patterns, I would recommend maybe making him in a blanket yarn so he'd be bigger, and kind of justify the time spent a little more. So now the final frog is this teeny little cutie. And this is the No So Mini Frog by Katie Being Creative. I'm sure many of you have seen this frog. This one takes 10 minutes or less, and it's basically scrap yarn. I mean, it takes almost no yarn at all, and almost no stuffing. I didn't even weigh it because it takes a little. And then the two little safety eyes. I have seen one other person who makes these also. She turns it upside down, and we kind of cover these guys up to kind of give you a better idea. And then she puts the safety eyes into these baubles because it just looks more like a frog to her. And I can kind of see where she's coming from with that, actually, now that I look at them like this. So I may try that myself the next time I make one, but they're super great for markets because they work up so quickly. You can turn them into keychains really easily. I've seen people put them, I think Katie was putting them for a while in her little claw machine deal, but I don't think she's using the claw machine anymore. But yeah, they make up great little keychains or backpack buddies, and or mystery boxes, or stuff them inside of Easter eggs for Easter time. Just really little and easy, quick to make. Okay, next we're moving on to bunnies. So we have the Chubby Bunny. I can't talk today. The Chubby Bunny Marshmallow by Die Hard Designs. So let me figure out which one that was out of what I have sitting in here still. Chubby Bunny Marshmallow by Die Hard Designs. I'm pretty sure it's this one with the little dress. And she's very cute. Let's see. The ears and the head took me 30 minutes. The body took me 20 minutes. Did I not time the dress? I think the dress I might have just considered as part of the body, maybe. No, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing on my note. This is Chubby Bunny by crochetsbyabi. That's what this one is. So this one took me 2 hours to make. A lot going on with this little one. 36.5 grams of yarn, 40 grams for the head, body, and arms, 40 grams for the ears and dress. So a total of 70 grams of yarn for the whole thing. 25 grams of filling. So this one did take, I think, the longest of all of them. A lot of parts. The body is all worked in one piece. You start from the feet, work your way up into the head, and then the ears are sewn on, and the arms are sewn on, and then the dress is actually a whole, you can kind of tell by the way I'm pulling on it, a whole separate piece that you could take completely off of her if you wanted. So that's kind of a cute addition. So yeah, she took a long time, but she's very cute, and in a much bigger size yarn to make a bigger size doll, I could see this being one of those statement pieces. So it would definitely be one to keep in mind as a statement piece, especially since this is a free pattern, and it works up very cute. The next bunny that I have is that Chubby Bunny Marshmallow, which this one. This is the Chubby Bunny Marshmallow. So it's like a Peep. This one's Die Hard Designs. The ears and head were half an hour. The body was 20 minutes, so altogether just under an hour for this little cutie. 60 grams of yarn, 40 grams of filling, and then the two safety eyes. It's not completely no-sew. I think you have to attach the ears. Or did I sew the head on? I think I might have sewed the head on this one. It's been a while. I'm starting to forget. I added a little flower from, you'll remember that one from my first video, the plants and flowers video, Stitches by Patti is that little flower. And then for the tail, instead of doing a pom-pom, I crocheted in, did chain stitches, and then just looped back in. So I got like this little bit of a loopy tail. I ran out of the pink towards the end and put the mint down there on the bottom. But I think she turned out really cute. And for under an hour, that's not bad. It's not bad for something this adorable. Okay, the next one is the No Chunky Bunnyloaf by lala.cloud.crochet. And that's this little guy. And he's cute. He definitely turned out like the picture. He took a total of 35 minutes. So that's not bad. 26 grams of yarn, 27 grams of filling, the 2 safety eyes. I will say it was a little bit difficult getting the ears into the correct place. And then I wound up having to stitch them against the back of the body to hold them into the correct position so that they would be back instead of like trying to fly forward. But that was, it just took a little bit of extra brain power to get there. And once I got there, it was good. But yep, it turns out just like it should. And it's really cute. Then the last, I think this is the last bunny. No, there's 2 more bunnies. The next bunny is the Miffy by NotMichelle. I've actually done this pattern before. I had a special order for some little bunnies for my rabbit club, and I did 5 of these guys for that bunny in shades of blue. So here's Miffy in white with a little blue mouth. She's tiny, she's cute. This is all bobble stitches for the legs and the arms and the little tail. And then the ears are the only thing that are sewn on separately. So it's not completely no-sew, but it's a really small amount of sewing and pretty simple to do. And I think she turned out really nicely. So Miffy by NotMichelle is a 20-minute make, really fast. 20 grams of yarn, 10 grams of stuffing, and then the 2 safety eyes. With the Big Twist Posh, this makes a great like backpack buddy size or keychain size, and it would still be this size if you use like a velvet yarn or like just chenille. Probably wouldn't be too much bigger than this in Parfait Chunky even, so it would stay kind of keychain sized. Blanket sized, it would get a little bit bigger. Now the last bunny is the NosoCozy Bunny by Schools Out Crochet. And I think this one might be my favorite. It had some of the more difficult pieces to follow in the pattern as well, but it's still my favorite. And it's this little guy. Isn't he cute? Very cute. And he is completely no-sew, even the ears, which is what made it a little bit more of a difficult pattern to follow, but worth it in the end once we got there. He took an hour and a half, which I think is entirely reasonable for a pattern of this size. 64 grams of yarn, 37 grams of filling, and 2 eyes. She had really good diagrams in this, especially for a pattern she gave away for free. Like, you just don't see that very often in the free patterns. So really good diagrams showing where to put the color change. The ears were the only part that was a little bit finicky on getting them into this ring up at the top. But once you kind of read it through, just read it through and make sure you understand what you're doing. And once you get to that point, they're not too bad. And he turned out so cute with his little shirt. And there are a lot of different options in the pattern too, from making the shirt in different color like stripes, or doing the sleeves different color than the body of the shirt, doing a short sleeve instead of a long sleeve. So lots of little options for changing that shirt up a good bit. And I feel like too, if you do the shirt and you wanted a little girl bunny, you could just as easily, because this is to make that clean color change, you do a back loop row. So it leaves this front loop bridge where you could really easily add a little ruffle and make it a skirt. And then you'd have a pair of bunnies, a girl bunny and a boy bunny. The only issue with doing the skirt then would you'd hide the little tail, but it would still be there. It would just be under the skirt. So this is my favorite of the bunny patterns this time around. Well, tie. I think it's a tie. Bunny patterns tied for favorite, these 2. Most fun to make was this one. This one, like I said, was a little finicky, but the end result was my favorite of them all. Favorite frog? This guy, for sure. And now we're getting into the others. So we're almost to the end of this series. The next thing I have is called the Kawaii-Kin by KawaiiCuddlebug. This one actually turned out a lot bigger than I thought it would. But it's really cute. It's like a little garden sprite with his little curly gnome hat. This was 23 grams of yarn, 20 grams of filling. Took about half an hour-ish. There is a little bit of sewing involved. You sew this hat on. Oh, you can probably see where, like right about here, is where the hat gets sewed onto the main body. Like this circular part is all one piece with bobble legs, color changing bobble legs for the feet and all that, and for the face. And then once you've got your disc made, you make your hat and stuff it very lightly down here at the bottom, sew it on, and then you use an extra stitch to put the little curl into it. So about half an hour, really cute little garden sprite, and just something different. It's not everybody's going to have these at their markets. The last thing for this video is the Small Chubby Sheep by Crochet by Janina, and I think she's actually recently come out with another pattern. This one is free on her Instagram. And then she has one that's got a lot of bobble stitches in it, and I can't remember if that one was a free one or a paid one, but she recently kind of updated this pattern, I guess. But Small Chubby Sheep by Crochet by Janina, and it's just really cute. I've done sheep before that were like all bobble stitches, and it took me so long, it didn't make it worth it to me. But I like this little guy. His little face is cute. His little ears kind of poke up just enough to stand out from his face a little bit. Like his little bobble black feet and the bobble tail. So this one took about 25 minutes, which is really fast. 22 grams of yarn, 13 grams of filling, and of course the 2 safety eyes. So yeah, a lot of these were really quick makes this time around. There's only a couple that took an hour or more. So these are all really great for market. And I mean, who doesn't like a sheep? They're cute, especially with Easter coming up. Makes for a great market. Okay, so let me see if I can get these all in frame for you to see. Here's the bunnies and the Bunnyloaf. And then we've got Frog. I hope I'm not. Let me get the Bunnyloaf off the microphone so you're not killing your ears. I probably won't be able to hold all these at once. I'm going to try though. Here's another frog. And another frog. And another frog, maybe. Tiny frog. Just tuck in over there. Then the Kawaii-Kin. And, oh no, I lost them all. Well, we tried. So there you go. That is the end of my spring collection roundup. Let me know how you like these, if you want to try any of these patterns. And if there's other spring patterns that you guys love that are your favorites that I maybe didn't find, so other people in the comment section can see those too, because I love it when we all share a community together. And if you want to see more pattern roundups like this, drop that in the comments also. We can always do more of these. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break since I did 3 of these in quick succession, and do a few other different things for the next maybe month or so. I've got a lot of markets coming up in April, so I'll probably have a lot of market recaps coming up after those. And that's all I have for now. So bye. See you next time.